Hello, it is Serum, and I am back again on Kerbal Space Program. Today, I am going to launch the second stage to the International Kerbal Space Station. And as you can see, last time I didn't record the rocket, so I decided this time I would, so you can see what I was using to get this thing up into space. And you can see it's quite a few big rockets, but it's surprisingly stable once I remembered to put a advanced SRS on this thing. So it's we're bringing it up in the orbit. I have to get into a really high orbit because the rockets, the second stage rocket's not very powerful, so I have to make sure I have a high altitude so I can get in orbit before I enter the atmosphere again. And I'm also a little off course, but I can make corrections as we go along. And this thing is surprisingly easy to maneuver, but the ACS is not quite as easy because it's just so much weight, and I didn't balance it as well as I would have liked, so it takes a while to get this thing to go around and to the position I want it to be in. Even after I lose the rockets, I have to fight this thing constantly. So I'm going to use up the last of this fuel to start my approach to an orbit, but I don't have a lot of fuel left, so it won't last me long, but at least get me started. And this fuel is almost out. Alright, now we'll release that stage. Oh, it looks messy, but I've tested it several times, and although there's all those explosions, nothing gets damaged. It's just there. I don't know what that is, but I've checked it and nothing got damaged. I look it over just to make sure, though. And as you can see, I have this little poodle rocket on here, so it's taking me a while to get that orbit going. And I'm getting nervous because my altitude's dropping. And now we're on the nuclear stage, but I'm still working on that orbit. But I got the height I needed, so it's looking good. I'm almost to orbit. The beautiful Kerbin planet down below. So you can see I'm in orbit now. Now I'm just trying to get it as round as possible. And then I've got to continue it out and try to get to the station out here. And I'm in an orbit now, and I'm approaching this space station, the first part that I'm going to connect with. And as you can see, I have an encounter, and I'm just playing around trying to see if I can get a closer one. It's about 20-kilometer encounter that I'm going to have. And I'm looking, that one's 46 kilometers. That's not going, that's worse, so don't want that. And the orange one on the other side is definitely a lot further than 20 kilometers, so yeah, that's looking like about as good as I can get it. Yeah, 25 kilometers, so that's what I have to work with, and I want to try to get it on this pass, so I don't have to keep fussing around with this. And I'm getting low on fuel too, so that gets me a little bit nervous. I mean, I should have enough to do this. So there it is, 25 kilometers out. I'm burning towards it, trying to get in close. Unfortunately, this rocket's, I'm still using the nuclear rocket, so it's a little slow, so it takes a while to get in there. But I'm slowly bringing it in. And now I've got it down to 2.3 kilometers, 2.2 kilometers. So I'm feeling good about this. So we're eventually going to meet up at 2 kilometers. So now what I'm going to do is bring this around and try to match our speeds when we come in close. Just need to be prepared. But this thing is a beast. This is the biggest thing I've ever put in the space besides the first part. And it's just so hard to control, and it's so slow to spin around. Alright, so we're looking good. Okay, now there it is, 2 kilometers away. I'm going to try to match our speed now. As you can see down the bottom there, about 70 meters a second coming up. And unfortunately, this damn engine is just so slow. And it's kind of passing me up there. Yeah, now it's getting further away, so now I got to burn in. But as you can see, our orbit's starting to get closer as we do this. And now my encounter is even closer, coming up again. So I'm just kind of chasing this thing, getting in, trying to match speed, then chase it again. But I finally get in, and there it is. I can actually see the solar array on it, and all the satellite dishes and everything. And we're just 130 meters away. This is where I'm really getting nervous. I've never docked before, so I'm excited because I've never gotten this close to anything, and but at the same time I'm nervous because I don't want to mess this up, and it's very nerve-wracking. And what I'm going to discover here soon is just how hard it is to dock something really big, something I had not thought of before doing this. So now I'm just kind of slowing myself down, trying to match its speed again. Alright, 0.1 meters a second. It's probably about as good as I'm going to get. And I am now trying to get in there. And now I'm having a problem with the RCA or RCS. Every time I move it to the side to line it up for docking, that stupid nose drifts off. And so something's not right with my docking, you know, the RCS valves, so it drifts whenever I try to move it around. So I've decided I'm just going to try to bring it in, and even if it's crooked like that, I just want to try to get the nose to meet up with that thing, and then I'll just try to force it in, even if I have to push the station around to do it. So there we go, we touched, but we bounced off. So I'm just trying to keep it lined up, and whenever I do, I just ram it back in there and try to get it to touch. Hopefully I don't destroy anything in the process. And I'm really thinking at this point, this is not going to work. This is going to be a disaster. I just think I'm in over my head here. And I'm convinced it's just going to fling out into space, and I'm going to have to start this all over again. Yeah, there, I'm losing it there. That's where I'm like, I'm screwed. This isn't going to work. I was sure this is just a disaster, and this is where I'm regretting doing a big station. But all of a sudden, what do you know, I was shocked to find out that it actually did lock in, but it's wobbling around like crazy, and I'm waiting for it to break apart or something. You know, I don't know what happens with these things when you put a lot of stress on those magnetic locks, but I imagine it will just shatter part of the station. And I'm really getting nervous because it's just bouncing all over the place. So I try to stabilize it with the SAS, but as you can see, that's even worse because it's going to tear the thing apart. It's pulling every direction. So I decide, let's try pausing the game. Sometimes that works. And then I try the warp, time warp, and what do you know, that seemed to do the job. So that stopped it. So it wasn't the prettiest docking, but I've docked my first thing, and on top of that, it's a large object that I docked. So I don't think I'm going to try to do something this big again. I'll just stick to smaller things. It should be a lot easier then. But it's done. I've successfully got it all together. So now I'm just opening up all the solar arrays and the communication dishes and the lab equipment that's attached to the outside, just for fun. And there's all my crew member down there. All 4 guys. All terrified to be up here, apparently. But yeah, I was just, at this point, I was just amazed. This is the most exciting. I've never docked anything. I never thought I would actually be able to do it, but it actually turned out to be a lot easier than I was expecting. Maybe next time I won't have this kind of luck, but hey, either way, I'm very happy about it. Now I'm just admiring my station. Looks kind of silly, but hey, you know, I just kind of threw this together. I wasn't expecting it to look amazing or anything. And it's a lot of solar panels. A lot more than I probably need. Because I had originally designed this too, that if I couldn't dock them together, then I would just try to send the other one into another orbit, and I'd have 2 stations. And there's the rocket engine. It worked. It's pushing it back towards Kerbin, like I had hoped those Separatrons would do when they're placed the right way on it. And so that will get it way out of the way, so we don't have to worry about that debris whenever we send something to the station. And I'm going to try to dock other things, but that's probably for another episode. So I'm Serum, and I've successfully docked something. Thank you. I'm very excited about this.